Baseball, America's pastime. Over the last 150 years, baseball has given us heroes.
First pitch, swing and a drive, deep right. She did. It's gone. Happy birthday indeed for Chipper Jones. It's 2-1.
Goats.
It is a fair ball. It's by Buckner. Rounding third right. The Mets will win the ball game. The Mets win.
And foils.
A floater to Bonds, and he hits it high. He hits it deep, and it is up here.
Today's players are a diverse and eclectic group that include athletes from all over the globe, teammates who share one common goal, despite differences in heritage, color, race, and language. Unfortunately, this harmony has not always been accepted, as for many years, segregation and Jim Crow laws made it nearly impossible for African Americans to play baseball alongside Caucasian players. One man, however, when given the opportunity, seized the moment. That man was Jackie Robinson. In the early 1900s, baseball was enjoyed by millions all over the country, including African Americans who had been playing the sport as far back as its introduction. In 1920, the Negro League was founded, giving the country an opportunity to see the talent they had been missing out on all along. The league was a hit with African Americans, who were given such heroes as Josh Gibson, pitcher Satchel Paige, and a former UCLA football player by the name of Jackie Robinson. Jackie was an all-around athlete who lettered in basketball, football, track, and baseball for UCLA before he signed with the Kansas City Monarchs in 1945. He quickly became one of the stars of the Negro League and gained attention from Branch Rickey, president and general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers. In 1947, he took the first step toward integration in baseball by signing Jackie Robinson to play second base for the Dodgers. The controversial decision of giving Jackie Robinson a spot on the roster was met with mixed results. While visiting opposing stadiums, crowds would boo Jackie, targeting him with racial slurs and even death threats. Players on other teams would slide into Jackie with their cleats high in hopes of injuring him. Even on his own team, players refused to acknowledge him or sit next to him at meals or on team buses. Jackie attributed his ability to turn the other cheek to his Christian upbringing. His mother was a devout Christian, as was Branch Rickey. Rickey and Robinson actually made the decision to use the method taught by Jesus during the famous Sermon on the Mount to deal with the confrontations and slurs they both knew were inevitable. They didn't see the strategy as being passive, but rather as a sign of quiet defiance. Racially, this was a turbulent time for our country, as the civil rights movement was in its infancy. Segregation was still the law of the land, but African Americans were growing weary of living in an oppressive society. Famous music artists of the time, many of whom were not even allowed to enter the front doors of the very music halls in which they were performing, were now starting to put defiant lyrics into their songs and refusing to play certain venues. Louis Armstrong, who was often criticized for playing to white-only audiences, wrote the lyrics,
"My only sin is in my skin. What did I do to be so black and blue?"
which was extremely controversial for its time. In Harlem, a renaissance was happening, in which singers, musicians, poets, and artists of color were sharing their talents and true voices for the first time. Authors like Ralph Ellison and Langston Hughes were writing poems, short stories, and essays that spoke to the racial climate and discourse of the time, as well as the struggle of African Americans in our country. Hughes, in particular, felt that through his writings, such as The Negro Artist in the Racial Mountain and Let America Be America Again, he could show that black culture should be celebrated, as it is just as valuable as white culture. Jackie was proving this value of equality on the field, and his talents could not be denied. Jackie won the Rookie of the Year award in 1947, stealing a league-high 29 bases.
Robinson dashes to the plate. It's close, and umpire Summers calls him safe on the daring maneuver. But Yogi Berra doesn't think so.
And proving himself to be one of the best players in the majors. The first player to reach out to Jackie was Pee Wee Reese, Dodgers shortstop and team captain. The two played next to each other on the field, and they quickly bonded. Reese chose to look past their differences, seeing the worth of having a player like Robinson on their team, and the two players became one of the deadliest double play combos in the league. Their relationship expanded beyond the field of play, and the two quickly became good friends. We never thought of this as a big deal. We were just playing ball and having fun. Pee Wee Reese. Robinson continued to put up Hall of Fame numbers throughout his career, winning numerous awards, a league MVP, and a world championship. In 1957, 10 years after he was first signed by Branch Rickey and the Brooklyn Dodgers, Robinson retired from professional baseball. 2 years after his retirement, every team in Major League Baseball had at least one African-American player on the team. Jackie Robinson had opened the floodgates. 5 years after his retirement, he was inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. His barrier breaking did not stop with baseball, however. Upon his retirement, Robinson served as the Vice President of Personnel at Chockfull & Nuts, a popular New York-based coffee company from 1957 to 1964. He was the first African American to hold that position for an American corporation. Many African Americans during this time were unable to secure well-paying or highly skilled occupations, making Jackie Robinson's powerful position unheard of for the time period. Soon, Robinson became active in the American Civil Rights Movement, joining protests, holding meetings with politicians, and serving on the board of the NAACP. In 1972, the same year as his passing, the Dodgers retired his famous jersey number 42. Today, all major league teams have retired the number 42 as a unified symbol of appreciation for Robinson's influence on the sport, as well as his courage and determination. Major League Baseball has named April 15th Jackie Robinson Day. All players wear his jersey number on that day to honor the baseball legend. His legacy will forever be cherished, and his impact will always be felt. Jackie Robinson, athlete, businessman, champion of civil rights, a true pioneer, and a true hero.